that's helping everybody in the community. Tell me who it is. Kokayi. Where'd he go? That cat Kokayi, he's a bad mother. I'm talking about Kokayi. And we can do it. He's a complicated man. Who is the man who risked his neck for his brother man? Kokayi. Right on. They say that cat Kokayi is a bad mother. I'm talking about Kokayi, and we can do it. Who's the cat that won't cop out? When there's danger all about? Right on.
It's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. And you know he can't shut up.
He's a complicated man, and no one understands it but his mama. Come on up here.
Come on up here.
He has. Yeah.
Who can that follow?
You supposed to be walking in cool.
I just want to say, first off, there's somebody in the community, everybody. There's somebody in the community that doesn't just look out for himself, that always has the people on his mind. There's somebody in the community, everybody. There's somebody in the community that cares, that wants the best for all of us. For years upon years upon years, regardless of the struggles that he may go through personally, there's somebody in the community, everybody. Open your eyes. There's somebody in the community that loves us, that nurtures us, that helps us no matter how much money we have, no matter how broke down we might be, no matter how lost and confused and adverse to living we might think we are. There's somebody in the community who is man who will risk his neck for his brother man. Right on. We love you.
I am always obedient to the Creator. When something comes to me, I get a nudge, I get the feeling, and I wasn't quite sure what this nudge was 2 months ago, but it kept on nudging me and nudging me. And I said, here I go again, what are you trying to tell me? And they were telling me that I needed to honor this brother for his years of work and his dedicated to the community and all that he does. And I tell you, I believe it with my body. I think he just kept coming to me, just kept coming to me, and just kept coming to me. Wow. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I finally figured out what it was, I said, this is the age of Aquarius. Why is that a woman? And he said, it ain't about that. We all stand together. So I did question it, but I'll be obedient. And so Dr. Winston Kokayi Patterson, I recognize all that you do. Winston Kokayi Patterson. I recognize all that you do. And from this year right here, and every year, you will be able to honor someone and emancipate yourself from medical mental slavery day with the Dr. Winston Kokayi Patterson Pioneer Award of the Year.
All right. All right.
I didn't want to take away from you determining what that honor was going to be. So, you know, our brother back there, Carl Lewis, you'll get with him, you'll design the award, and we will have another special dedication when we will give it to you. Your family and friends and colleagues can honor you on that day. And next year, we're looking forward to see who you're going to honor as a pioneer. It can be somebody gone, it can be somebody new, but that's your choice. It's your award and your honor. All right. Thank you.
Wow.
I know you didn't know. We got you.
breathe on this one because it's all down here in my stomach. My stomach is just flipping and turning.
Who's the cat?
And Mama Freedom, but she mentioned Mamadi, and you're absolutely correct. Today, and for those who've been in my house know that I have Mamadi Nasuma's drum in my house that he gave to me. That drum hasn't been touched for like, I think probably 2 months ago I pulled it out. But today, Mamadi told me, pull the drum out. I went back in my bedroom, pulled the drum out, took it to the living room. I'm trying to remember who was in there I was playing with. Aronde, when you in there and I had the drum out when you were in there today? Who was it? Kwesi, yeah, right, Kwesi was there today. And I played the drum for like 5 minutes. And I said, Mamadi wanted to play the drum. And then I zipped it up and put it back. So it's definitely correct what she just said. And that brought little tears to my eyes, knowing that that communication is there. Because Mamadi is so deep in her organization and so deep in my organization and so deep in everybody's organization out here, Ayo and Haru and everybody that's been out here working. Mamadi was one of those individuals whose spirit permeated the organizations. And one of the things that I never forget that he stated, he said, you have some people who build organizations and stuff like that, and then you have institution builders.
Yeah.
You know, and I never forget him saying that. So people think an institution is a building. An institution is a mindset.
Yeah.
Like the Malcolm X Park drummers and dancers. That's an institution, even though it's all messed up, all the white folk up there, all up in our drum circle now, messing it all up. But it's an institution. It runs by itself. What Dr. Foulks is doing runs by itself. What Ayo is doing, it just goes on with Haru and Freedom. What all of us are doing, it just runs by itself, because of the empowerment and the spirit, of it. So this award basically is for Dr. DeBen. This award is for Dr. Warren Harrison. This award is for Dr. John Chazelle. This award is for Dr. Clarita Smiley. This award is for Sister Nandini Towns. This award is for Sister Theodora Blackburn. This award is for Bobby Croquet. This award is for Rufus Houston. Who's that? On and on and on and on and on. Dr. Kwaku Andal, Brother Kibwe Bay, Vernon McCain, my dear sister Rabia Rayford, Damu
But the thing
Smith.
about it is they all was there. It was a force. It was all there. They all want this to happen. They want us to keep moving forward.
Yes. So it's the community. So I thank all of you all for this award.
We're looking forward to seeing what that award's going to look like. Who's going to be honoring everything.
I'll do my
And
best.
let's talk a little bit about you and everything you do. How about that?
Yes, ma'am.
AWA since what?
1988.
Bam, bam, and then what?
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you. It's the community. They just me. It's the community.
Yeah.
I resisted. I wanted a woman. No, let me say. We're both.
And I want to send a special shout to Mama Ayo, who's definitely one of the members with AWA and helped us to develop that from the initial beginning all through the years. Ayo has definitely been one of the individuals who's been right there beside me and helping me push that organization. So I thank her tremendously for the amount of work that she did in developing that institution. Thank you, Ayo.
Louis Carl.
You Lord have I'm just so excited to drag
I know, but look, what you call it? Remember she told me congratulations the hard way? I'm so glad she said congratulations to you and you ain't paying no attention. I was so happy. Louis Carroll is our wonderful sculptor. Like he says, he listens to the wood, he listens to the vibration of the person, and he creates. But I had him create another piece. This is a permanent piece, I think, that we're going to be using every year. For the Dr. Nathaniel L. Kane Health and Healing Humanitarian Award of the Year. And he'll get to tell a person what it's all about. And from our totals that we have here, and I had nothing to do with it.
What do I?
Ms. Rachel Folk. Nothing to do with it. Did I have anything to do with it?
Nope.
Nothing to do with it.
Ooh, watch the sign.
Huh?
The sign.
The second annual
Spirit in the house.
Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day, Dr. Nathaniel L. King Health and Healing Humanitarian Award of the Year for 2013 goes to John S. Black.
Yo, oh my God.
Let's give him a hand, y'all.
Yay!
All I can say is,
I had nothing to do with it.
and a little country boy from Alabama.
This is the award designed by Lewis Carroll, and I wanted to keep the indicative symbol of emancipation and freedom as a part of this award.
Wow.
And this will be given out every year. Lewis Carroll can tell you what he chose, and what he chose, and why he chose it.
Wow, that's nice.
What we got here is a combination. Earlier you seen the Purple Heart. You notice the background, and this is also Purple Heart. But also, what we got in this is popular. It's a masculine energy.
How do we know it's going to be a male?
Wow. Wow.
Women need masculine energy too.
Teach, Brother Lewis. Teach, Brother Lewis.
The balance is
So,
all of us.
That's right.
Basically, what we're looking at is it has an incredible diversity energy, allowing it to be all-purposeful. One of the things that we don't always recognize these things once they leave a story or something. But the poplar tree was the tree that
Strange fruit.
Yep.
so it has some power that they knew, and they used it in what they did. So when you go to looking at what you're dealing with the Purple Heart, it has all this creative energy stored in. One of the things come to me was the two need to work together. The creative energy can overcome all the diversity. And at that point, we can start changing things to go more in our direction. Where we have been missing things that we didn't understand. And if we understood them, we had them all the time. But it's the knowledge of it that we have missed.
Exactly.
Hopefully this will be some reminder. It's designed in a way where one of the largest words in it is slavery. Somebody said, why that word is so big? I said, maybe it'll get somebody's attention to see what the rest of them are. Nobody wants to be a slave. Everybody tell me they're not. So I hope this does something to help promote what Emancipate Yourself from Medical Non-Slavery started to do. And when she came to me and asked me to do something, I was glad to be able to offer something that may help. And it gets people's attention. Sometimes people don't know what draws them into it, but the spirit in the wood exists whether you know it or not.
That's right.
So we're going to let it work for us and understand that it is working for us.
Yeah.
Because if we don't know it's working for us, then we don't have as much respect for it. So we have a tendency to have respect for things that we feel as though we're getting things from it. And it doesn't ask you for anything. It was created by God in a tree to produce oxygen for you. And it's one of the most important things that exists in your life.
Yes.
Even stronger than your mother and father.
Yeah.
Because without it, they wouldn't be here. So when I see this sister speak of breathing, she speaks of what's going on. But I hope you enjoy it.
I really appreciate it, and mention that word. Don't get excited. Because the way you change the way you look at things, and the things you're looking at start to change. But more important than that, include emancipate yourself from mental slavery. I like that word slavery because it teaches us that that's volunteer. And in life, sisters and brothers, there are no victims. There are merely a bunch of volunteers. Therefore, the institution of slavery, no, it does not require. It demands the cooperation between the slave and the master. So stop cooperating, stop renting, and start to own your own life. And like I say, if you got to change your value system and everything to get along, then maybe you need to be how alone. Can I live to be alone? That's right. Be alone. That's right. It's better to be an old broke down shack in happiness than in a castle in misery.
He's a bad man, I tell you. He's a bad, his granddaddy, boy, I tell you. His granddaddy all up in him. He's like his granddaddy up here talking all these words of wisdom. You know, so
risk his neck for his brother, man. Right on. They say that cat Kokayi is a bad mother. I'm talking about Kokayi.
You gonna be walking in cool. I just want to say, first off, there's somebody in the community, everybody, no matter how lost and confused and adverse to living we might think we are. There's somebody in the
I think he just kept coming to me, just kept coming to me, and just kept coming to me. Wow. And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I finally figured out what it was, I said, I didn't take away from you determining what that honor was going to be. So, you know, our brother back there.
I gotta breathe on this one because it's all down here in my stomach is just flipping and turning.
Who's the cat?
And Mama Freedom, you know, I zipped it up and put it back. So it's definitely correct what she just said. And that what Dr. Foulks is doing runs by itself. What Ayo is doing, it just goes on with Huru and Freedom. What all of us are doing. Yes. So it's the community. So I thank all of you all.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Watch the side.
Huh?
The side gate.
The second annual
Spirit in the house.
Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day, Dr. Nathaniel L.
What's the
King.
background? This is also her part. But also, so it has some power that they knew, and they used it. Where one of the largest words in is slavery. We don't know it's working for us, then we don't have as much respect for it. So we have a tendency to have respect for things that we
Except for mental slavery, I like that word slavery because it teaches happiness than in a castle in this.
Get on this train, y'all. Come on.
I'll bring this down just a little bit. Once again, I greet you all in love and kindness. Thank you for joining us today as we honor individuals who have emancipated from medical mental slavery, no longer on pharmaceuticals, living a good life, raising their kids a certain way, and we're just excited. We want more people to come get on board. So I just got a little note here, because everybody know. I have to stop saying I can't remember anything. I was told to stop saying that. I got to work on that. So what is this day all about? Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day is a day of self-awareness, of how one is consciously taking care of one's health and healing one's body. It was created because I was enlightened to do so out of the need to remind individuals of the powers that they possess as a divine being, born with the birthright of pure health, and to shine a light on the illusion of disease care system as a health care system. So we are inviting people to get on board this train ride. You don't need to purchase a ticket. We got your boarding pass. Come get on board this ride to assist you with emancipating yourself from the thought of disease, thinking, and care. I like to say, new thought forms for caring for the body. I believe we are not taught how to care for the body. No one has taught us about the laws and principles of living, so we break the laws of health, a self-organized breakdown in cell production, and create cellular malfunctions, not diseases. Disease is an illusion. Don't make it your reality. If you have a whole slew of energy in the universe that's assisting you, whether you know it or not. Is there. 3 blessings occur on this day. On this day, we honor individuals that have taken back control of their health care. We have 8 individuals that we're honoring tonight. One all the way from Alabama came to join us. Thank you so very much. And we also honoring Sonia Barrett. Maybe she decided to Skype in at 7:30 like I emailed her earlier and asked her. So maybe that's why she wasn't available. Well, maybe she'll come on at 7:30, we hope. One of the 8 individuals will receive the Dr. Nathaniel L. King Health and Healing Humanitarian Award of the Year. That's how much we honor them. We honor Dr. Nate's life for what he does in the community. He's a quiet person. No one really knows him and knows what he does for the community, how he assists people through many means. Education, paying for schooling for people. He does a number of things for people that people don't realize. And so we honor his work and we honor what he does for the community. The second, we honor a community visionary, an individual that has worked to bring an awareness of truth and self-care, who is sharing the natural arts of true living to humanity. This year's recipient is Sonia Barrett, and Dr. Kokayi Patterson already introduced her. Last year, we honored a number of individuals in the community. They've been so instrumental to me in helping me and just sharing with me, and we all moving forward. And Mama Ayo was a recipient last year, and Dr. Kokayi Patterson was also a recipient last year, along with 8 other individuals. And third blessing is sharing this information of self-care to individuals that are not aware. That's our job today, to go back into the community and just mention the name. Emancipate yourself from medical mental slavery. When someone talks to you about something, just say, maybe, you really don't have a disease. Maybe it's just a cellular malfunction. Maybe you should try doing this. So we're asking people to share this information on this day as well. This year's celebration is really exciting because I've gotten emails, Facebook messages from people that are friends of other people that's liking this day and sharing this day. And for me, you know, I still get kind of teary. I got a message today, I got a phone call, and they said to me, most grateful today, and my heart is full of love and kindness. Got a wonderful call today that said, keep doing what you're doing, even when it looks like few are hearing the message to emancipate yourself from medical mental slavery. You are supporting the universe with this truth. And she went on to tell me that she don't even know me, but through the Facebook messages of friends and friends, that she's no longer on medication. Her father and mother is doing well. They're in their 80s. They wanted to put her mother on dialysis, and she really didn't want it. So we don't know who we're touching. And we're touching people all around the world. And I'm thankful for everyone that passes the message forward, be it through Facebook, email, or whatever you're saying. Because as African American people, this is the only thing I think that's really holding us back. Is when we realize that we are in control of our health. We don't have to believe in the false illusion of a disease. I know it's hard for people to realize that. But you're going to find out today that we got people that's been on medication for 20 years that's off of it.
Wow.
You know? So it can be done.
Right.
When you're around the right environment and you're sharing with the right people. So I'm just going to share one poem with you, and then we're going to start honoring our individuals that we are. So this is how I share my information with people. I wrote a book, and in this book, I wrote the poem. And it says, step up now. That's what it's all about. Step up now. I wanted to write a poem about stepping up out of the dark ages of healthcare, but my mind couldn't think how to let the words rhyme or the lyrics flow. The human body fluids needs to move like the oceans of the world, fluidity flowing, free of stagnation, blockages, and lack of quality oxygen. The human mind needs to reach its greatest heights and think like an eagle and realize the dreams. I wanted to write a poem about stepping up out of the dark ages of healthcare. Or really, is it just disease care and dis-ease care? Nevertheless, I say, wake up everybody, time to think a new way. Wake up all the doctors, allopathic and alternative too. Wake up, it's time to practice a new way. The human body needs to be nourished from the greenness of the land. Go live, go green. Get healthy, and you will get lean. I wanted to write a poem about stepping up out of the dark ages of healthcare, but my mind couldn't think how to let the words rhyme or the lyrics flow. The Pastorian in Darwin's age has now seen his last days. Step up to the future and fly like an eagle as you reach a greater level of wellness today. So come join me on this freedom train. You know, we're going for a Harriet Tubman's ride. We're talking about a ride to freedom. From Pharmacide and Nutricide and yes, oh yes, that sad, can I hear you say, sad,
Stand in America.
stand in America, suicide. Come ride with us as you set your minds free. Take a deep breath, that Mama Ayo Handi-Kendi breath, and listen here as we all whisper in your ear universal truths that you can hold so dear, because the secrets of healthcare are now being revealed about cellular ecology and the new paradigm, informational healthcare. I'm Dr. Kadijah Davis-Foulks, come ride with me as you get on board this train of healthcare freedom. You don't need a ticket. You just get on board. And let freedom ring. And let freedom ring. From the truth twisted with a lie to keep you on that unrighteous train ride. So I implore you today to find and take back your righteous thinking. Conscious living through living consciously is the key. I wanted to write a poem about stepping up out of the dark ages of healthcare, but my mind couldn't think how to let the words rhyme or the lyrics flow. So I put it in a little book, and I called it Step Up Out of the Dark Ages of Healthcare. Transform your life, transform your health, not by forcing change, but by the renewing. She ain't come back this time. By the renewing of your mind. That's what we're talking about, family. Take a chance to make a choice. And we don't want to put people on the train ride already.
All right now.
We don't want to put everybody on the train ride.
All right, it's gonna be it.
Then we cross the nation. All right. That's what we're talking about. It's time, individuals. It's time for all of us. And we're talking about over-the-counter medication too. We're talking about over-the-counter prescription drugs. That's where it starts at. You know, we're talking about the Bayer aspirin being number one. The number one drug that's being used. It causes the most damage in the body. It's an aspirin. You know, so we're talking about letting it all go, using none of it. We're asking you to see that one out there. See them trees out there? God made everything we need. Everything is in the earth. There's nothing man made
That's better than God.
that's better than God.
That's true.
So I want to thank you for joining us. We're going to bring up our 2012 recipients of the Dr. Nathaniel L. Kane Health and Healing Humanitarian Award of the Year. She's going to share with us for a few moments about her journey over this past year. I bring up Ms. Rachel Poe. She got the caboose, y'all. She got a hand out for you. Hand. That's that hand right there.
Go with me. How everybody doing? You know, I gotta have a little humor somewhere. I just want to say, you know, I am grateful, and I want to say thank you, Father God, for having me here. Today started off kind of rough with some bad news of my family. One of the members and went on across the other side. But, you know, it's okay because he's my first cousin. I was with him. I shared some energy with him during his time. He, you know how they say, you know, the gene is passed on down, their mindset in the country. And not all everybody's like that, but my family is. And I'm like Kay, you know, trying to push the news on, and I'm over here while everybody over there, but I still pass the message on. And they say, well, what about you? Well, what about me? Look at me. What am I doing? I'm learning how to be in life. Don't be hating, don't be jealous. Just come join me and listen and learn what I have to say and what I have to share. Because I learned how to live life. I learned from a young age how to by being around wisdom, and that was my elders. But in the meantime, I did not know how to really emancipate emotional stress. I I was all about physical, workaholic, people pleaser. I wore many titles during the time, even before I met my new friends. And I wound up helping people out last minute. Anybody here like that? Last minute able to solve stuff for folks. You don't know how it works, but it works for you. I was like that. And it's like people who need this and other folks come that need that, and I blend them two together. So it was like a natural networker thing, you know. So to make a long story short about that part, I had a photography business. I was a model coordinator. I also was a host for surprising couples. I was doing a lot of things. And then my body crashed. I thought working out and weights was the thing to release my stress, but it wasn't, because I was taking on everybody else's stuff and didn't know how to sleep. Anybody suffer from the word insomnia? And you're always worrying about everything for everybody, and you forget about yourself. Well, okay. Well, I wound up going to the emergency room because I was shortness of breath, and the doctor said it was lupus. 7 doctors, from 1 medication of steroids to 23 medications. And then I said, this is not me. And I decided drastically to just say, hey, I'm going to quit. I'm just quit cold turkey because this is not me.
Quit the drugs.
I quit the drugs. I started focusing on what made me happy. I started to doing research, and I found I knew Andy Evans in the community as a host for our pageant. And I did not know he was a nutritionist and all these good things, and he helped me how to juice. Along with that, I ran into Handi-Kendi. Breathe in and breathe out. I had an issue with that, but I got that under control now, so I go around and preach that too. So they've all been good teachers for me. And then that sad diet, I thought that I was doing things right, and found out that my body cannot handle meat.
That's right.
And I wound up having cancer 3 times. And Aya was with me doing that transformation of it coming out of this armpit. And we used regular oils, right, and creams, and it came out on its own. With all that, I wound up finding art through this process of regaining my motor skills by twisting paper. And from that, it led me into the schools to teach health awareness using art and science and recycling. And they had given me grants, and I include IO, I include Andy, I include Dr. K. And, you know, I ran into Dr. K, and Dr. K helped me to change my mindset. And we've been friends ever since, and I've been on that train. I told her I'd be at the caboose. When they don't listen to you, bring them to me. I use my little artistic ways to bring them in. So, you know, I want to say, anybody that hear me on the radio, I say, you know, if your mind is not relaxed, then come have a cup of healthy coffee or tea with me, because I'm going to change your mind to get on the caboose and be on that freedom train. What is your illusion and what is your reality? Y'all like that trick? So I got a lot of tricks under my sleeve, so if you want to know, come talk to me. All right?
I just want to say Rachel Pope joins me every Tuesday on my radio show. She's known as the Visionary. We come on at 7:30 on Inner Light Radio. Health Talk, Health Wise. What's your illusion? What's your reality? It's Rachel and Wanda, the visionary artist that created this print for Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day. She'll be joining us later through Skype as well.
Good.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Didn't leave the plane.
I tell you, I've seen some of my sister's artwork, and You know, I've been trying to figure out how to get some of it from her, but the pieces that she has, the ones that I asked for, are not for sale. Well, what about that? That one's not for sale. What about that one not for sale? All right, so I'll just wait around.
You're gonna have to start twisting paper.
That's it. Make your own. Self-taught.
She is a teacher. So let's give Rachel another hand for her implementing these processes that she was given. She took those things on and applied them to her life. Dr. Foulks and Ayo and everybody else could not do it for her. They gave her the information, and again, the whole concept of freeing yourself has to do with what do you replace that with. So it's about emancipating yourself and bringing into fruition, you know, the proper way to think, the proper way to eat, the proper way to live your life, the proper way to set up your environment. Of course, Mama Freedom will be coming up a little later on talking about a holistic environment, how important that is in this process. So art is a very, very important tool that's used in the healing of our community, as we very well know. We are visual people.
Yes.
You know, so you show us something, you know, we just get all into it until somebody explains to us what it is. So we'll define this whole thing ourselves, because that's that pineal gland and that melanin doing what it does, you know, in that sense. So thank you, Sister Rachel, for being a great example in our community, and the recipient of the 2012 Dr. Nathaniel Kane Health and Healing Humanitarian Award. Let's give her one more. Now, as Dr. K mentioned earlier, she talked about her radio show, and you know, everybody's got you know, ways in which to communicate. It's important for us to get on the air any way that we can. It's important for us to promote these holistic concepts, and I know Ayo has a show, and Dr. K has a show, and I see my sister Nia in the audience, and she has a radio show, and works with some stations, and several other folk in here are doing the same thing. We cannot have enough. We cannot have enough. We cannot have enough radio shows. We cannot have enough arms and tentacles that are going out into community and pushing this information. So I want to applaud all of our holistic media specialists. This next brother we're going to bring up actually is the co-host of my show. I do a show also called Holistic Health Academics 101. And this brother is the co-host of my show, and on every show he's always leaving us with some empowering information about what to replace some kind of medication or some kind of drug with. So he's our in-house herbalist right there in the station, in the studio, and when we have a discussion about ADD, and we have a discussion about high blood pressure, or we have a discussion about depression, or whatever the case may be, he will come on and talk about what kinds of herbs a person can use to do that. So who better to choose? Who better did Dr. Foulks choose, did Dr. K choose to come and talk about the importance of building a holistic herbal home kit? I like that. A holistic herbal home kit. So let's welcome up my comrade, our comrade, Dr. U.